I know when we're going to be getting rain, and it's late tomorrow evening and into early Thursday. There's a lot of activity currently in the open Pacific, and all of this activity is going to swirl together, merge before it hits us in the United States. And we're going to be seeing widespread rainfall all across the West Coast. Again, this is technically an atmospheric river. It's going to bring moisture from Washington to Oregon, including basically all of California. And it's going to pack a pretty big punch, bringing widespread totals upwards of an inch throughout the region and potentially upwards of 2 to 3 inches in those higher elevations of our North Bay, which is going to create ponding on roadways. And those gusty winds are going to come along with those frontal boundary as well. You can see that swirl of the low pressure system that's going to continue to allow that rain to fall throughout the day on Thursday, and potentially a good amount of rainfall. That area in green, this is our excessive rainfall outlook. The potential for upwards of 3 inches on the highest elevations of our North Bay community is increasing our flash flooding concerns throughout the morning on Thursday. Again, that's going to be the biggest issue, the potential for flash flooding and some gusty winds as we step out over the next 24 to 48 hours. Right now, though, it is quiet. There's just a couple more clouds out there compared to yesterday. Those clouds not going to be dropping any sort of rainfall until later tomorrow evening. So most of the day tomorrow, it's going to be quiet. It's going to be dry. A couple of degrees cooler than today, sitting in the low 70s to upper 60s across our inland communities, mid to lower 60s closer to the coast. But again, it's not until the evening hours that the widespread rain is going to be moving in. Maybe an isolated sprinkle, especially closer to our coastal communities, but it's really just going to be that low-hanging cloud coverage and mist until the late night hours, when we are expecting some heavier downpours to arrive, I would say between 3 and 4 a.m. to our coastal communities, and then continuing to push inland throughout the early morning hours. Look at the bottom right corner of the screen, follow along with the timestamp. This is going to be from 4 to 7 a.m., where rounds of heavier downpours are going to continue, and it's likely going to impact basically everybody's early Thursday morning commute. This is 10 a.m. We're still looking at some heavier downpours across our South Bay and inland East Bay. That will continue through the late morning and early afternoon before gradually quieting down as that frontal boundary pushes off to our east. Again, it's really only going to be the early morning hours on Thursday that the biggest impacts are going to be likely, drying out, clearing out by the later evening hours on Thursday. But the biggest impact not only is the rain, it's the winds. Right now, widespread wind advisories in effect all across the Bay Area. We're expecting those wind gusts upwards of 45 to 50 miles an hour, especially on the highest elevations. But look at the time. It's only from 10 p.m. Wednesday to 10 a.m. Thursday. It is an overnight system that's going to bring the gustiest of the winds and the heaviest of the rain. That, again, is going to persist into the early morning hours on Thursday. Let's break it down even more, kind of show you exactly what we're going to expect over the next several days, because there is quite a lot of activity that everybody should be aware of. That activity is going to be heading our way through the later parts of the upcoming week. And then we are going to continue to see quite a lot of that activity heading our way, maybe even upcoming weekend. So there are 2 big pushes of moisture that are on the way. The first one, again, late Wednesday and into Thursday, quieting down late this week and into the weekend. And then late Sunday and into Monday, there's another round of moisture. That one's still a little bit more questionable than this first one, because this first one, it's going to pack a punch, bringing upwards of an inch to an inch and a half of rain all along our coastal communities. Inland areas, that's when the lesser totals will be, but still anywhere from a quarter to a half of an inch across those inland East Bay communities. That's some healthy rainfall. It's the winds that are going to be the biggest issue, gusting upwards of 35 to 45 miles an hour. Again, that's going to be early Thursday morning before you quickly dry out and quiet down by the later parts of the week. And you're going to be seeing a lot of snow as well, upwards of 3 to 6 inches of snow across the highest elevations of the Sierra, which is why there are winter storm warnings in effect. So it's going to be pretty treacherous travel for us here in the Bay Area early Thursday, up in the Sierra late Thursday and into Friday. But overall, this active weather pattern is going to stick around into the later parts of the weekend and early next week. We're already tracking our next wave of moisture that's going to be impacting the Bay Area again late Sunday and into Monday. Keep that in mind for any late weekend plans, but all eyes are going to be on this first system that's going to really pack a punch for any Thursday morning commuting you have to do. Back to you.